Hey, welcome to the Explainer. Today we're going to pull back the curtain on one of those invisible systems that makes, well, our entire digital world work. We're talking about the magic behind your online shopping, your banking, all those travel bookings that just happen in the blink of an eye. Ready? Let's dive in.
Really think about it for a second. You click Buy Now. You tap your card at an ATM. You book a flight. And poof, in that split second, this whole complex chain of events just happens totally flawlessly. So how does the system make sure your money goes to the right place? Or, that two people don't somehow book the exact same seat on a plane? Well, the answer is this amazing concept called OLTP.
And look, here's the key idea that's going to help us understand all of this. For just a minute, let's forget all the technical jargon. Instead, just picture a really efficient cashier at a store. Seriously, this one simple analogy is going to make everything else just click.
So here's our game plan. First up, we're going to meet our digital cashier. Then we'll check out the super strict rules they have to follow. After that, we'll see where this pops up in your daily life, compare it to its counterpart, and then finally, we'll wrap it all up with the big takeaway.
Okay, let's jump right into it. First things first, what exactly is this digital cashier that's running the whole show behind the scenes?
So the official name for this thing is Online Transaction Processing, or just OLTP for short. And really, you should think of it as a system that is built for two things, speed and precision. It's not for like deep analysis or anything, nope. It's all about fast, simple actions. Adding an order, updating inventory, that kind of stuff. Just like our cashier, its job is to process one thing at a time and do it perfectly.
Now, for our digital cashier to actually work, it has to follow a really strict set of rules. These rules are the very thing that makes the whole system so reliable. So let's take a look at the most important ones.
Okay, first up is this concept called atomicity. You might have heard of acid properties for databases. This is the A. And honestly, atomicity is the big one. It means every transaction is all or nothing. It can't be broken down into smaller pieces. The whole thing has to succeed or the whole thing has to fail completely. There is absolutely no in-between.
And our cashier analogy makes this super clear, right? Imagine you're at the checkout. If your card gets declined, you can't just take half of your groceries and leave. No way. The entire sale is canceled and the items go back on the shelf. That's atomicity in action. It's what makes sure you don't lose your money and the store doesn't lose its stuff. All right, next rule, everything has to happen right now, instantly. There's no waiting around for a big batch of transactions to get processed at the end of the day. Nope. The moment you kick off an action, the system processes it. That right there is the online part of online transaction processing.
And back to our cashier, this is exactly what that looks like. The second you tap your card, the sale is recorded, you get that approved message instantly. Your bank account shows the charge immediately. The store's inventory gets updated on the spot. You know that incredible speed we all just take for granted? Yeah, that's a core feature of OLTP.
And the final big rule for our digital cashier, they have to be able to handle a serious rush hour. We're not talking about just one customer at a time. Oh no, OLTP systems are built for massive scale. They're designed to process thousands, sometimes even millions of small transactions all at the same time.
And yeah, this is the perfect way to picture it. Don't think of one cashier. Instead, imagine a huge store with thousands of cashiers, all working at the same time during a crazy holiday rush. They're all in perfect sync, never getting in each other's way. That's how online stores survive Black Friday. It's how banking apps can serve millions of us all at once.
Okay, so we've met our digital cashier and we know the rules of the register. But where do you actually see these systems in action? Well, the short answer is pretty much everywhere.
Think about it. Every single time you use an ATM to get cash, that's an OLTP system. When you buy something online, from adding it to your cards all the way to that final payment, yep, that's OLTP. Booking a flight and snagging seat 14A, the system that makes absolutely sure no one else gets that same seat, that's OLTP. It is truly the operational backbone of almost every modern business. Okay, this next part is super important. We have to understand that our digital cashier has a very specific job. They are amazing at handling one transaction at a time, but they are not built for deep thinking or, analyzing trends. For that kind of work, businesses use a totally different kind of system. So let's break this down. On one side, you've got OLTP, our cashier who's totally focused on what's happening right now. Then, on the other side, you have something called a data warehouse. A good way to think of this is like the store manager who's in the back office, just combing through all the sales data from the past year trying to spot trends. OLTP is all about small, current data. The warehouse, it's all about huge amounts of historical data. They're just two different tools for two very different jobs. So if you want a really easy way to remember the difference, just think of it like this. OLTP is for fast, live data and actions. The warehouse is for deep, historical insights. It's that simple. One is doing the work right now, and the other is studying all the work that's already been done.
So because of all those rules we talked about, being all or nothing, happening in real time, handling huge volumes, you get some pretty awesome advantages. We're talking instant access to your data, rock-solid performance, even during a crazy sales rush, and a solid guarantee that your information is always accurate and consistent.
But of course, that kind of specialization comes with some trade-offs. There's always another side of the coin, right? Because these systems have to be so incredibly fast and reliable, they can be really complex to design, and they often need some seriously powerful hardware to run. And, like we just saw, if what you want to do is analyze past trends, well, an OLTP system is just the wrong tool for the job. Period. All right, so we've looked at what it is, the rules it follows, and where we see it every day. So what's the one big idea, the final takeaway you should really walk away with?
It really comes down to this. OLTP is the engine of now. It's the system that powers the immediate, transactional world that we all live in. It's that silent, super reliable workhorse in the background that makes sure every single click, tap, and swipe is processed correctly every single time. Without it, e-commerce, digital banking, modern travel, none of it could exist the way we know it today.
And that kind of leaves us with one final big question to think about. Our entire world pretty much runs on these instant transactions, right? So what happens when instant just isn't fast enough anymore? What happens when our expectations for speed just keep getting higher and higher? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.